Are you willing to challenge every single thing that you have ever experienced in life? Everything you know, everything you've been through. Are you willing to accept the fact that one thing can happen that changes everything that you thought you knew? Whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, are you willing to accept the fact that you do not have everything figured out? When I was 18, 17, 16 in high school, I would see people in their late 20s and early 30s and think, man, they got it figured out. Like, that man is solid. You know what I mean? Like, they know what they're doing. And now I'm in that age range and I'm thinking, like, man, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to figure out what this whole thing is really all about. Um, but when we get to that point, and we get to the point of not knowing everything, not needing to know everything, it helps us learn not only about ourselves but with others. Helps us have grace, not only about ourselves but with others. Because people are just always trying to figure things out, and not everybody does. So I encourage you to open your mind, open your ears, and open your hearts. Enjoy the process. Hey, what's good, everybody? Um, Welcome to the 10th episode of Mental Check. This will actually be the final Mental Check episode until next year. I just want to start out by saying just how much of a blessing this has been. Just not only to hear other people's stories, but hear how it's been touching people and just getting able to maybe get closer to getting to that space of normalizing these authentic conversations with men, but really, as it keeps on going, just with everybody. I think everybody has been struggling in different ways, and everybody has kind of been trying to figure things out. Um, and I hope this is becoming the spot to make that okay and figuring that out. For this final one, the thing I wanted to talk about, I know it's been a while since I posted or since I um, made an episode, really done anything with Mental Check. Um, if you didn't know, about a little less than 2 months ago, um, I lost my mom. Uh, and it was the most, you know, devastating feeling that I think that I know I've ever been through. Um, can't really describe it as far as, or maybe, I mean, let me try to explain it to how the feeling was. It is like this heavy, heavy weight on your heart. Um, and I felt like I couldn't function correctly when I heard the news. I was, I woke up to a phone call from my dad, and he told me everything that happened and told me the story of how it happened. And I mean, in that moment, I was under so much shock and so much disbelief, but at the same time, it felt so real. And I immediately just started crying, and I really I couldn't stop. And I just sat there and laid in my bed, and I could not stop crying. Um, and I didn't want to get out of my bed. I just wanted to lay there and just, I don't know, take it all in, or just not really go back in the world. And it's like, it's one of those things where I wasn't like mad at the world or anything, but sometimes things happen that you feel like the world should stop for. And that was 100% one of the times where I felt like, why is the world still going on right now? Like I just lost the most important piece of me, something that I don't even know how to live without. Like how's the world just going on? Um, yeah, man. I mean, just to kind of tell you guys about my mom and the person that she was a friend to everybody, a best friend to everybody. There was times we were in the stores, right, when we were kids, and she'd be the one to like be in the store. Like you don't want to go to the store with her because you're gonna be there for 2 hours. She's gonna inevitably talk to somebody who she ends up becoming best friends with, right? And she'll talk to somebody for 45 minutes in a grocery store and be like, "Mom, who was that?" It's like, "Oh, like I don't know." It's like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I just met them." It's like, but that's how she was. She was just a natural people person and able to find some relation with anyone and just become close friends with anybody. Uh, she was a very, very loving person, has been all her life, and has always taken care of people. Um, she allowed she allows people to undeniably be themselves, right? Like I'm sure we all can say that we know people who uh, love us for what we do, or love us for things that we can bring to the table, right? But there's a special type of people who love you just because you're you. No, and that was my mom. And anyone who came in contact with her and came in her household, they'll be able to relate to that. That she treated you as family. Um, so yeah, she was so special, man. Um, I was in fifth grade particularly, and she had breast cancer, and she's just so damn tough. Like that when it was, I didn't even figure out until she it was post surgery, right? She was just like, gumma gumma, like I have to get the surgery and all this stuff, and like meanwhile, right, she's battling through this, but at the same time, she has all kids and family to worry about. And she was just like, I'm just gonna push through. And she went through cancer and beat cancer with such grace and such power and courage that we didn't even like, as kids, it didn't even feel like there was something going on with her because she was just so strong every single day and always had a smile on her face, always still trying to find things to laugh about. Um, that gives us that strength and resiliency to really try, I don't know, to go through our life challenges. It's been one of those experiences, and it's just something that I knew as soon as it started. It was like, as soon as we feel pain, you really want to know how long it's going to last and if there's a way forward from it. Like, am I going to be feeling this way forever? Um, right, but that's when something happens, right? Um, it's almost like an open wound, right? Like you break a leg, right? You feel the pain, but you know, either through rehab or through the surgery, whatever it is, like there is a repair process, and then your leg is fixed again. Um, this is different in the fact that it's something that is never going to be the way it was, and it's not supposed to be. And so it almost, just my logical mind, like I couldn't really wrap my head around it, like what's the way forward? Um, it's a lot, like it's a lifestyle change. Like it's not just like that one day, like, oh, I'm back and I'm good again. I mean, I can honestly say to you all that the pain that I felt from losing my mom is subsided, but the absence that she has left is so present and so real, and it stays with me every single day, and you just live kind of moment by moment. You take it day by day. When the feelings come, you let them come. I let them come. Um, and I just understand that I went through something that is extremely hard and difficult, and there is no recipe for that, and there is no recipe to that one day you'll no longer feel this way, right? I think I just learned how to live with that and how to kind of make it through each and every day. Um, Also, I mean, one of the things that has helped me so much through this is just my faith. Um, and she was such a tremendous, tremendous part in in that. And I know that she's in heaven, and I have an angel that will always be with me, that will always be watching over me and being there. Um, so there's some things that I can find peace in, but that doesn't like I can say all that, but that doesn't always make it easier, right? Like I would be lying to y'all if I didn't say I don't have this like childlike part inside of me that doesn't care about the reason why she's gone or what what led to it happening. There's just a part of me that's like, you're not here, you're supposed to be. And that you've been here my entire life and you were supposed to be here. I don't care why. And that lives on. Um, but how have I made it through this? Family, friends, love, support, pressing into things that are important, pausing from the things that are not just trying to be tough and this putting on a smile and just being like, yeah, I'm good, like, yeah, no, I'm good, and just pushing through it. Like that sounds good, that sounds tough, but in the long run, like that is the worst way to do it. um, love the people who you can love, and while you can, it's not even appreciate people, right? Because we say, like, you hear a lot, don't take people for granted because once they're gone, they're gone. I think that's like, yeah, that's kind of like a cliche thing, but it's like, no, like, love the people you can while they're there. And that's not even just like considering life or death. Like, I'm sure we all know people friends that we were super close with and now we're not. You just understand that life has its directions and we go one way, other people go the other way. And, nothing is just always going to be there. And so when you have a chance to give your love to that person express yourself to that person. Just do that. Be completely there. Be completely present. Like, life is life is lonely if you're not doing it with people. Um, and so, to all our accomplishments that we get, it's the best part isn't the accomplishment. The best accomplishment. The best part about the accomplishment is when you share it with the ones you're closest with, and then they celebrate you, and you celebrate them. The worst part is like doing all this cool stuff and not having anybody to celebrate it with. So what am I really trying to say? Um, I hugged my mom on Monday. She had passed that Wednesday. And the existential piece of feeling, that shock of you were just there and now you're gone, is something that I really don't completely know how to comprehend. And I mean, to be straight up with you guys, like, yeah, of course, right? Like, I say that, like, yeah, I'm still amazing. I'm still like struggling through this. Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is not something that I am just, uh, whatever the word is, thriving through. I don't know. Like, I am just making it every single day. And I am, like I said, there's good moments and there are bad moments, and there are good moments and there are bad moments. That is life. And the reason there are so much intense emotions is because I loved her so much. And and I will always love her like that. Like, it's a good thing. Um, now, like, the other things is what I thought about is like, I thought about how I've had a mom and dad to, to reach out to and talk to whenever needed, right? Like, there's some things I go to my mom for, and there's some things I go to my dad for. And like, when I now that my mom has passed, I think about it and I'm like, and there's people who only have just one parent to rely on everything for, or worse, maybe not even a parent, right? And I'm blessed and super grateful that I had my mom for 27, almost 28 years to love and cherish me, like you said, just have her, like I said. And I feel just so slightly for the ones that only had one and just have that absence there. Um, so, I mean, I've just gained a whole new level of respect and strength for them, because I can't even imagine how tough that would be um, to walk through. And right, like, everybody has different struggles. And I really don't say that to discount what I'm going through, but I say that because it's like, damn, like, there's just so much that people go through that it's like, I wouldn't even think about it until I go through. And so when we, it's just so important to talk to people, man. Like, hear their stories and see where they've been and see why they are the way they are. So I guess the question goes from here is, how am I doing? Like, what's my own mental check right now? Um, Mentally, I am at a, I haven't even really thought about this, honestly. I think Mentally, I'm at about a 7. Um, there's a lot that's happened over these past couple months, and a lot coming up, and being completely present has been kind of difficult, but I'm working through it. Um, it's one of those things that I know it's something, a lot of traumatic events, and so just trying to battle through that, acknowledging that it's there, acknowledging that you're not feeling the best, right? So I'm definitely at a 7 for that. Emotionally, honestly, right now I feel like I'm at a 10, just because the amount of emotions that I've gone through in these past couple months and the amount of emotions that I have had to process and open and close and open and close. I think it's made it a lot easier for me to see that in others, and not only see it in others, but just kind of know where it's coming from now. Um, like I see the roots of my emotions very well, and I think it's helped me see it in others as well. Spiritually, um, life's been busy, and but my faith is it's sky high, even with all of it. So I would say spiritually, I'm at about an 8, um, and then physically, I think this is one of the things that is kind of take my mind away sometimes, kind of like escape, if you will. So I feel pretty good physically right now. So I probably put myself around a 9 right there. Um, kind of out of order. So I know one of the questions that I always ask my guest is, what would I say to, or what would you say to any man, person dealing with anxiety, suicide, depression, suicidal thoughts? How would you encourage them? The way that I would encourage them is to say, there is nothing more important than the people you spend your time with. Not just any time, but your best time. We can walk through life and have the greatest accomplishments. We can walk through life and make the most money. Um, but if you do that by yourself, it's for nothing. So in the times of trial, the times of hardship, it's not you that always gets yourself through it. It's the people around you and the love and support of that system around you. So you don't have that, find that somewhere, whether that's a friend, a therapist, counselor, mentor. So to find that rock wherever yours is, to be able to say, hey, I am not good right now. Life is not okay, and I don't need help. I don't need anything to fix it. I just need to say that to somebody. There's a lot of ways to be strong, man. And going through them alone is not it. So closing out, man, this has been such a cool journey, doing this podcast and really just hearing stories of a bunch of guys and how their struggles have shaped them, and just real life problems that we go through on a day-to-day basis, but it's not normalized to talk about. Many times we say like, oh, once you are in this bad place, then you go seek help. Like, we gotta do better and being more proactive about our mental health. So I encourage you all who have been listening to, continue that and continue that in your circles. Check on the people around you, check on yourself, take time for yourself. Like I said, always take time for others, man, because this is right. That's what it's all about. Um, but yeah, I thank you to all my guests who have been on. Um, it was awesome. Uh, this will be um, back up next year. We're getting some content together. We'll start out hot next year. But for now, I appreciate you for being on this journey with me. I appreciate all the support. I'm excited to see where this goes. So this is officially the end of season 1, but it's just the beginning. Peace.
Hey, Bryan. I just called and check on you. Talk to you later.